Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is BC Saint, and today I am going to be showing you my invisible flower farm. Now, do not mistake this farm as a lossless or a hyper-efficient farm. This is intended to go with your terraforming or inside your village without actually leaving an ugly redstone farm behind. This is supposed to look like there's nothing there, not be anything amazing as far as rates are concerned. There are a couple things to keep in mind when choosing your location. I am choosing a location that we have three in three directions. We are dropping down to this area, and then a little bit of land can be removed back here and it would look natural, which is what I am going for here. But if you were concerned about getting a certain kind of flower, you may not have the luxury of having three different directions sloping down to your farm, which is unfortunate, but it still does not look that bad. And for those of you who do not know, you can search for the colored flower that you want just by bone mealing and breaking the grass and bone mealing again until you get the flowers in the block. One thing to keep in mind is that this block will always produce a dandelion, and this one will always produce cornflower. So it is, if you are looking for specific colors of flowers, you may have to go somewhere other than where the terrain is the best for it. And here is all the material you are going to need. Now, unfortunately, it does require a redstone ore if you want the triggering system to be completely invisible. It doesn't have to be. You could use a lever or a note block or basically anything, but you can hide a redstone ore underneath a moss carpet and have that be your on-off switch if you want. It requires a honey block or a slime block and moss carpet or green carpet if you do not have access to a moss farm or moss as of yet. And I've got 64 dirt in this materials chest, and this is just intended to be helper blocks. The iron over here does not have to be iron. It can be any block that will carry a redstone signal. If you want, it could even be cobblestone. I suggest that you put your redstone on something, that way if you're digging around your base, you don't accidentally break a block you're not supposed to and destroy some of the redstone. You are going to need 5 stackable blocks, preferably something that isn't very common and something that's renamed. That way, if something falls in, it's not going to mix in with the rest of those blocks. Now, the first thing you are going to need to do is you are going to have to dig an 11 by 9 hole, and it is going to have to be 7 blocks deep. And the back side is going to be the 11 side. So let's get that dug out. All right, and once you have your hole dug, now is the time to get all of your materials. So let's start out with your stairs, and I chose stone stairs in this situation. In my survival world, I did warped stairs, but for this tutorial, I am going to do just regular stone stairs. And you're going to want to put them in groups of 3, 1, 2, 3, space 1, 1, 2, 3, space 1, 1, 2, 3. And that is going to be 1 block beneath ground level. Then we are going to take 3 of our sticky pistons and place them underneath the middle stair. Like so, and we are going to place our iron blocks in this pattern right here. So it is 9 across, 1 leading to each sticky piston, and 3 separated by 1 in the middle. Next, we are going to grab our dispensers and have them facing upwards. Oops. And one of our observers facing away from the iron blocks. And we are going to put an iron block right underneath the face of the observer, a sticky piston pointing up towards it. And while we are here, let's not do that. And while we are here, we might as well place down our redstone dust on top of each piece of iron, like so. Next step is to place an etho hopper clock in front of this piston. Comparator out, redstone dust, and now we need to make a redstone line leading into these hoppers here. And all I am going to do is just run some iron blocks into this wall right here and dig straight up. So you should have something that looks like this now. Next, we are going to actually put in the floor of the farm and have all of the redstone covered up. Now that we have the floor completely covered, we are going to waterlog all of these staircases. And we are going to trigger the farm just temporarily. Oops. And I forgot we need to cover up the other staircases. And we are just going to remove all of the dirt blocks that are not covered by water. And now we need to put our chest somewhere over here. It has to be 1 block beneath this dirt block right here. So something like this. And then we need to run a chain of hoppers to it. And when you are done, you should have something looking like this, or like I said, you can go further out with those hoppers. Now you will take your moss carpet or your green carpet and just cover up all of these hoppers so they look, it doesn't look like there's really anything there. So you will have something like this now. And since we are at this point, we might as well put the triggering mechanism, install the triggering mechanism. And all that is running the redstone over top of these iron blocks, putting redstone block right there. And let's get under for this part. Now from underneath, we are going to be placing an observer right here facing down. And we are going to put a sticky piston facing down as well. And a honey block or a slime block right there. And then we are going to place our redstone ore block on top of the observer and quickly placing down our moss block. And the farm should be almost ready to go. All we need to do is put in our stackable items. Then we need to remove this block from in front of that observer and place in our bone meal inside these dispensers. And now all that there is left to do is trigger the farm because it is ready to go. And all you do is simply walk over that moss carpet. And I forgot it needs to be grass. All right, and the farm is ready. All you've got to do is wait for this area right here to turn into grass, and to activate it, you just walk over this moss carpet. And there you have it. All of the flowers get bone mealed and put into these hoppers, which in turn go into this chest. Now, like I said before, not a lossless farm. As you can see, you've got a few flowers that end up going down there. And the farm shuts off whenever it wants to. But that's the price you pay for the on-off switch being completely hidden. And give me a minute and I will try to terraform this place so it, or give it some, make it look like this area was naturally generated outside of the waterlogged stairs and some moss carpet around. And with just a little bit of grass block removal, this farm is virtually undetectable, aside from the fact that, you know, obviously moss carpets don't naturally generate this way, and the 3 staircases. Other than that, I would say that this farm is, for the most part, invisible. And with this being the on-off switch, apparently we're out of bone meal. And with this being the on-off switch, I would say that's pretty inconspicuous, or about as inconspicuous as you can get. And that is the end of my flower farm tutorial. So thank you very much for hanging out with me. Like and subscribe if you would please, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.